Welcome back to Jambar TV. I'm Kelcey Norris alongside Monica Kurjan.
This week, we're bringing you the latest in news, arts, and sports.
Be sure to stay tuned for a weekly coronavirus update, a trip to the haunted wine trails, and the first athletic competition of the year.
Jambar TV in Youngstown, Ohio. This is your student news. With Kelcey Norris, Monica Kurjan, Gabrielle Owens, Abigail Cloutier, Thomas Kushner, and Ben Luli. This is Jambar TV.
Reported COVID-19 cases are on the rise at YSU, and more students are being affected. From testing to quarantine to recovery, several students share their experiences.
For hospitality management sophomore Connor Murphy, what starts as a headache quickly turns into dizziness and a high fever. At the suggestion from his parents, he gets tested for COVID-19, receiving a positive result. He recovers in quarantine at home but worries for his family. He watches basketball, baseball, and football games to pass the time. He recovers shortly and sees no ill effects.
I wanted to be able to come down on campus and see my friends. But physically, I felt fine and I was ready to go back.
Chemical engineering senior Ali Alarian returns to Kuwait but has to test for COVID-19. Despite a negative result, he's required to quarantine in his family home for 28 days. He describes the experience. I'm Aileen Blaine, reporting for Jambar TV.
Well, it was kind of funny, and it's really new experience. To be honest, it wasn't really bad. Because I was thinking about my family too, what I'm doing is really good for them, so.
The Cliff College of Creative Arts lost 1 degree this year due to lack of resources. The dance management degree will no longer be offered at YSU, but students currently in the program will have no problem completing their degree. Jambar reporter Kelcey Norris has more.
Interim Chair of Theater and Dance, Stephanie Smith, explained sunsetting the degree was a tough but necessary choice.
I think that perhaps people think that getting rid of dance means, the faculty line is going to go away or that we somehow don't value dance. It's actually just the opposite. We value dance so highly that we need to make sure that we're serving dance properly and serving our students properly. And if we can't provide programs of excellence, then we really need to think about, what we're doing.
Erica Hayes is a senior dance management major and president of the YSU Dance Ensemble.
We all kind of knew that it was coming, but at the same time, it hurt. Just because so many people had either been watching this program since they were little kids in the area. They would always go to the dance concerts and everything like that.
Be sure to look out for more Jambar coverage on the dance ensemble events this year.
Youngstown is home to America Makes, the federal government's Center for Additive Manufacturing. With more federal money coming in every year, a manufacturing renaissance is poised to bring Youngstown back to its roots.
When I was there, I would always kind of imagine myself having to, kind of move away from the area to really find, to be involved in something like, cutting edge or something, really interesting. And by just getting involved on campus and, looking for research opportunities and stuff like that, I was able to kind of stumble upon this opportunity that, is here. But, you kind of just don't really realize it as a student.
According to YSU police data, incidences of stalking continuously occur on YSU's campus. The Title IX office handles cases of stalking, sexual harassment, and discrimination. It offers students resources to feel safe.
A conversation with the alleged victim or the complainant. And we have a conversation about the entire process. We have a conversation to see if they need any supportive measures, whether that's a no contact order, whether that's job or class reassignments or relocations.
Weir believes sexual harassment is the highest reported crime on campus. He encourages anyone who sees something offensive to say something and file a report or complaint to the Title IX office.
For students who may be struggling with addiction, YSU offers assistance. YSU for Recovery is an organization offering a safe space for students. They can discuss their experiences with addiction and feel heard in bi-monthly Monday meetings. Mason Edmonds, a prevention specialist at Meridian Healthcare, heads the program.
The point of these meetings is to discuss and connect and collaborate to try and not only build the student organization and get some students in some leadership positions, but to also provide that safe, respectful environment for students.
If you are struggling and would like to join, contact Mason Edmonds.
Many students that may feel isolated or discouraged during the COVID-19 pandemic, new student organization Voices Connect created an outreach group to encourage students, especially freshmen, during stressful periods.
Sounds like a support group because we're a bunch of students getting together and we're supporting each other through literally everything college related, because most of us who are executives are a little bit older and we understand the college life. We talk about like everything from what's going on with their professors to home life to anything that, just everything. So that's basically what we are.
For more information on their meetings, visit their Instagram. Next, Thomas Kushner brings us our weekly coronavirus stats update. Stay tuned.
Youngstown State University reported 16 new cases of COVID-19 as of last week. 15 of these cases come from students, one of which lives on campus. The other case comes from a university employee. Case numbers continue to climb into the double digits, with 13 cases reported only the week before. As more YSU students experience coronavirus, some are willing to talk about their experiences. Some, like Courtney Hibbler, are still dealing with certain symptoms. JAMBAR reporter Douglas Campbell has more on this story.
When did you get tested for COVID-19?
So the thing is, I never really got tested for it. I did get tested for the antibodies for it. So that's how I knew I had it. But when I came home from Florida from an internship, I fell ill around the last week of March. And at first I thought it had just been a sinus infection because those are the experiences I was feeling. Like I had, my sinuses were hurting. I thought I had a sinus headache, and I thought, because I get migraines too, so I thought it was that on top of it. So I had headaches continuously that whole first week and stuffy nose and stuff like that. But I never really got like the symptoms like we were first hearing about in the news, like the fever, the dry cough and things like that. I never had a fever, which was weird, but my chest was tight and it hurt a bit. I could breathe fine, but it was really, I was fatigued a lot and I had the constant headaches. So I thought it was a sinus infection, contacted my doctor. They gave me medicine for a sinus infection. And then when that didn't clear up within about a week or two, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I have COVID, because I did lose my sense of smell and taste completely, like 100% gone. And so about the whole month of April, I was experiencing that. And then my taste started coming back little by little. And even now I'm like at 50% taste and smell. It's still not the same.
After the break, Abigail Cloutier sits down with the owner of the Youngstown Flea, so stay tuned.
Growing up, I love figuring out how things work, putting things together. I love being able to come up with an idea, design it, just the whole process of creating things. I go to school here at Youngstown State and my passion is 3D design. I chose YSU because all the equipment, the research being done here, it's like a playground for me. I'm Alex and I'm Y and proud.
Hey kid, you wanna try some exercise?
Wait, what? What's going on right now?
Yeah man, exercise.
I don't know. I don't know if I should even be talking to you right now.
It's got lots of benefits.
Okay.
The benefits of exercise include increased levels of energy, higher quality of sleep, better muscle and bone strength, improved memory, and clearer skin.
As a former quarterback here at Youngstown State, I understand what it takes to be the very best. By becoming a member of the Penguin Club, you can help provide the support necessary for all YSU student athletes to be their very best. You'll receive great benefits like priority season tickets, game day parking, and access to hospitality rooms. To join the Penguin Club, call 330-941-1YSU or go to ysusports.com.
The environment in the hospital can be very intense for a patient. Being able to put a smile on their face brightens up my day. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is nursing. What I love about studying nursing is that it takes you out of the classroom and into the lab. It's really hands-on. The professors here push you to be your absolute best, so if you want it, you gotta work hard for it. I am so excited about my future. I'm Shantiana and I am why I'm proud.
Welcome back to Jambar TV. I'm Abigail Cloutier, and today I'm here with DERRICK McDowell, the founder of Youngstown Flea. DERRICK, what inspired you to purchase this new space for Youngstown Flea?
Well, you know, the many vendors and the community residents that we serve, that's really the inspiration behind it. We saw the pandemic and we thought about how helpless we felt as a business and as a platform to be able to support those that we had been supporting for 5 years. And so we felt this building could help us become a little more pandemic proof, if you will.
And so what are your plans for the space and what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about the community's excitement, the community of makers that we've shared the building space about, the community residents. We just had a quick open house tour Sunday, and so many people were excited to be in a space that's been locked up and shut up for decades. And so I'm just excited about the excitement around it. Some plans, if you will, mixed use community space. So certainly we want to relocate the Youngstown Flea from the parking lot space that we've been using next door to Cavelli. This will be the new home of the Youngstown Flea at 365 East Boardman Street. So that's enough to be excited about there. That's part of phase one. But we want to get into a ton of things. We've talked about Flea School, having co-working spaces where our vendors and makers can come and do what we call show and tells, show you and tell you how they make their product and educate you about the business that they're in. We want to allow the community to suggest to us feedback on how to use the space, whether it be wedding receptions or you know, different activities that don't particularly get a lot of attention because of some of the limited spaces in the downtown. Not everybody can afford a large convention center. Not everybody belongs in specific, you know, theaters or performance hall spaces downtown. So this industrial building gives us a lot of opportunity to open it up to the community for different types of activities.
So how do you believe those activities in the community space will benefit Youngstown as a whole?
Well, we know that there's this sentiment that some of the community carries, like there goes another thing for downtown. And we want people to know that though this is located in the downtown area, this is for the entire community. We want the dreamers, we want the small business owners on the south side, we want the entrepreneur on the east side, we want that maker on the north side, the west side to understand that yes, this is a centrally located space, but we want to draw in, and not just from the Youngstown area, we want those surrounding areas. The Flea already draws vendors and partners from Akron, Canton, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. So we hope that people recognize that though this is in downtown, it's for all of Youngstown.
And when do you have to plan the space? When do you hope that will be operational?
You know, if I could snap my fingers in a couple of areas, but there are two portions of the building. Part of the structure, there's two separate buildings actually, one from 1870, so you're talking a building that's 150 years old. Another portion of the property is a building from 1962. So that space from the newer side will be more quickly activated. We're hoping to relocate the Flea by next season, and we typically run from April to October. You know, we do have to be concerned with the safety guidelines of COVID, and so we're just taking our time, getting the right zoning permits, occupancy, and we'll share some news around that when we can.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
all the time we have at JambarTV. Next, Gabrielle Owens will bring us an arts and entertainment update.
You're here to be part of something bigger, to make things happen. For you, college is about knowledge being shared and learning experiences that aren't limited to the classroom. On campus, you want to matter. It's about engaging every day, building relationships with students, with mentors, with the community, in the heart of a reinvented city. We are that something bigger. We are Youngstown State University and proud. You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Growing up, I love figuring out how things work, putting things together. I love being able to come up with an idea, design it, just the whole process of creating things. I go to school here at Youngstown State and my passion is 3D design. I chose YSU because all the equipment, the research being done here, it's like a playground for me. I'm Alex and I'm Y and proud.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Jambar TV. I'm Gabrielle Owens. Though Halloween may look different, there are still plenty of events. To celebrate, Woodland Cellars, a winery in Hubbard, is holding their first haunted wine trail on Logan Way. Jambar reporter Douglas Campbell has more.
Recently purchased by Nate and Danny Wilson, owners of Woodland Cellars, the Sampson estate was built in the early 1900s. For the month of October, the estate has been transformed into a house of terror. To combat the coronavirus, the haunted trail will send in small groups who arrive together, and each group will go through the mansion one at a time.
So, the scares are more subtle, not necessarily up in your face like you would get at a lot of haunted houses in the past. We try to keep that social, that social spacing, and it's just more theatrical and more imagery. I guess would be the good term. So, kind of the sights and sounds of the haunted mansion and the haunted trail, rather than necessarily somebody jumping right up in your face and scaring you that way.
The haunted house was assembled from a collaboration between Wilson, Bogus, and volunteers who portrayed the monsters inside and outside the estate.
That's my main role, as people walk into the room I'm located in, just kind of get a scare out of them, get a jump out of them, just to make for a good overall experience.
Other events include a haunted trail behind the mansion, food stands, an escape room, and a kiddie's haunt. Tickets cost $15 a person. Wine tasting before entering the mansion costs an additional $5. Wine drinking is permitted in the mansion. The haunted trail will continue until November 1st. I'm Douglas Campbell for Jambar TV.
YSU students face off in space, and the search is on for a suspected killer. The popular indie game Among Us made its way to campus last week. Andrews Wellness and Recreation held a virtual game night. Students played the mobile and desktop game that's taking social media by storm.
At first it was debate, and then we converted it to a game night because it's a new game, Among Us, that's like really trending right now. We want to follow that trend. But we pushed that event, pretty much switched it, but we pushed that event so that it's at 7 o'clock now.
Campus Rec held the event on WebEx so students could play safely from their homes. Are you interested in showing off your talents? The YSU Rec Center is hosting a virtual talent show for students. Organizers say it will allow them to gain the full college experience during the fall semester.
So the virtual talent show is basically, it's
the same thing as a regular talent show, but it's just virtual. So students can bring any of their talents, whether it's singing, playing an instrument, doing card tricks, and just kind of showing off their talents and, giving them a space to do that.
The next virtual talent show will take place on November 23rd at 5 p.m. For more information, visit the Rec Center in person or register online through the Rec Center's website. After the break, Ben Luli brings you a YSU sports update, so stay tuned.
The communication department is much more than media or delivering a speech. The YSU Communication Department offers programs in telecommunication, journalism, and communication studies. We inspire creativity. We encourage each student's passion. We explore new and advanced technologies that connect the human race. The communication programs at YSU ensure that every student is prepared and experienced for the outside workforce, for life after YSU. Join the JAMBAR and find your voice when you tell the next big story. Become a host of Rookery Radio and gain hands-on experience, or get involved with TV productions like Light the Wick, Penguin Rundown, and JambarTV. YSU's communication department is much more than a department, an education, or a degree. It's a home for passionate individuals, for students to find and pursue what they love.
You're here to be part of something bigger, to make things happen. For you, college is about knowledge being shared and learning experiences that aren't limited to the classroom. On campus, you want to matter. It's about engaging every day, building relationships with students, with mentors, with the community, in the heart of a reinvented city. We are that something bigger. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
As a former quarterback here at Youngstown State, I understand what it takes to be the very best. By becoming a member of the Penguin Club, you can help provide the support necessary for all YSU student athletes to be their very best. You'll receive great benefits like priority season tickets, game day parking, and access to hospitality rooms. To join the Penguin Club, call 330-941-1YSU or go to ysusports.com.
Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Ben Luli. This year, sports have heavily been impacted by COVID-19. With our altered high school schedules, teams are struggling for recruiting for the upcoming season. YSU football coach Doug Phillips outlines how high schoolers are impacted.
We haven't been on the road, and we have commits right now, we have recruits right now that we haven't been able on the road to get into their schools. They haven't been able to get on campus, so it's just a lot different right now. And the dead period extended to January 1st. The signing class usually is in December and February, and so you're not even going to have official visits like you in a normal year. So it's a little different, so we got to be very, patient and making sure that we know the young men that we're going to bring onto our campus and our school.
The YSU bowling team participated in the Bearcat Hammer Open in Fairview Heights, Illinois this past weekend. This made bowling the first YSU team to compete since collegiate sports halted in March. The women had a chance to win the tournament on the final day, but ultimately finished as runner-ups.
We really felt confident, and we knew we were going to be there in the end, with a chance to win. Obviously, our focus was on the process, and my goal was just to get the ladies, some really good experience and pressure situations, and just get the chemistry tested out in competition. We've been working on it a lot in practice, obviously.
This week in YSU Sports History is a special Halloween-themed edition. Today, we look at the top 5 Halloween-themed nicknames in sports history. Starting off at number 5, Red Grange, the Galloping Ghost. He's considered the greatest college football player of all time, and his running style garnered his famous nickname. He also went to Illinois and was a 3-time All-American. Number 4 on the list is Gary Bones Bromley. He was a professional goaltender for 11 years, and his nickname comes from his skull mask he wore as a Vancouver Canuck. Number 3 on the list is DERRICK the Boogeyman BOOGAARD. He was a left winger in the NHL from 2005 to 2011. His nickname stems from his 6'7" frame and physical style of play. Number 2, Kevin Durant the Slim Reaper. He's one of the best scorers of his era, and his nickname originated from a Reddit user and describes his lanky frame and elite scoring ability. And number 1 Halloween-themed nickname in sports history, John Candelaria, the Candyman. He was a starting pitcher in the MLB for 19 years, playing his best years in Pittsburgh. His nickname is the number 1 on the list because it references the best part of Halloween, candy. Next, Penguin Rundown brings us the latest in women's tennis.
Hi everybody, welcome back into the Penguin Rundown. Richie Giuliano, Kyle Wills with you here, live from the brand new tennis facility at Youngstown State. Kyle, this facility is just amazing.
It really is unbelievable. I remember being able to watch this facility being built last semester. I was always anxious to see how it ended up turning out. And you look around right now, and there's 6 courts you get to play on. So the tennis team is really lucky to be able to have a facility like this to be able to practice in.
Yeah, they're very lucky. I mean, this is not just one of the top facilities in the area, but also the country for tennis and men's and women's as well. But before we get into tennis, we had some athletic teams that were able to compete this past weekend, starting with the bowling team.
Well, the bowling team became the first YSU team to be able to start the season since collegiate sports were shut down in March. So that was pretty exciting. And in day 1, they went 3-2 in their Baker matches. They went 3-2 in day 2 in their traditional matches. And ultimately in day 3, gave themselves a chance to win the tournament. But evidently they finished a runner-up.
I mean, runner-up's still good for your first tournament. So that's great news with our bowling team. I hope that the tennis team could get involved with some competition later in the year. But before that, we have a couple interviews with our women's tennis members. Let's get into it right now.
We traveled back to the tennis facility where we got a chance to talk to members of the women's tennis team. The players and the coach had nothing but positive things to say about the new tennis center.
So this facility actually gave us a lot of new opportunities. It gave us more time to practice as we don't have to go to Boardman, 20 minutes to Boardman, 20 minutes back. It gave us a home. We finally can call a facility like our home. That will be a home advantage when we will compete as well. And just the environment, like all of us really enjoy playing and practicing here.
It's a lot of an advantage. I mean, we get to practice at any time as much as we want, and I think it's really been very beneficial for us not having to spend like an hour in the car driving back and forth to Boardman, and to just have the facility within walking distance. It's really a blessing.
It's a really big advantage, especially when you compare to what we had before. I mean, we had to drive about 20 minutes in, 20 minutes back, and now to have such a beautiful facility here on campus, being able to just walk to it and plan individuals, plan extra practices, and for the girls to just get to play whenever they have the time, it's a huge advantage for us.
The surface of the court in the new tennis facility has become a major advantage for the tennis team. The players have already started to notice an improvement in their game.
I think it's good that we have a surface that fits our game and that we can practice on every day, improve our games, and I think personally I already saw some improvements.
That wraps it up for this week's episode of JAMBARTV. Tune in next week for more news, arts, and sports.
Stay safe and have a wonderful Halloween weekend.
Support for Jambar TV is provided in part by the YSU Foundation and the Jane F. Lamb Charitable Foundation. Thank you.
Invites you to explore the more than 100 classes we have to offer. Students have the chance to read the classics and to discover classics in the making, to encounter the many voices in literature, and explore their own voices creatively. Students can develop practical skills for the professional marketplace in technical and business writing classes. They can study linguistics, education, and second language acquisition, and even film and screenwriting. Come see what YSU English has to offer you.